figure fans? It's the one and only Optibotimus coming with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Masters of the Universe Origins Savage Henchman Beastman. For the package, much like all of these new Origin figures, you had that gorgeous card back, which is very reminiscent of how the original vintage ones looked. The difference being new for 20, and of course the modern posing and retro play blast. You do still have that absolutely gorgeous blister, fully showcasing Beastman. You got the little dimple right there, which is great. You can see that he does come with this comic book. It does look like it's the same one that we have gotten so far with all the other figures in this first wave, which it's kind of a disappointment, but again, at least I like the fact that we're getting them because it does nicely homage those original releases. You come around to the back of the package, you got other figures that are currently available in this first assortment. You can see that his whip can fit into his hand. You can rotate and twist his body. Up here it says the ferocious Beastman uses mind control to force animals to do Skeletor's evil bidding. And again, absolutely gorgeous art there. I love it. That was one of the things about the original vintage figures, is it had a very Conan the Barbarian sort of darkness and ferocity to it. And this new art here captures that as well. Now we know that that's not how it was in the cartoon. It was definitely lightened. But I like the fact that these new Origin figures really do pay homage to those vintage figures, both in terms of the figure and the packaging. But for the packaging, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. And here we have Beastman opened up and out of his packaging. And much like all of the Origin figures, he does come with his mini comic. Again, it is the same one, and I feel like I shouldn't be that critical about them being the same one because at least we're getting them. And honestly, with everything else they're doing in terms of recreating the figures, the packaging, all that kind of stuff, we might have only gotten one mini comic with the first kind of release of figures. I don't know entirely. If you guys know, let me know down in the comment section. Were they all the same mini comics in the original release of the vintage figures? For his accessories, he does come with a whip, which is really nice. It's done up in terms of the handle very much like the vintage one, in terms of like a cone sort of shape. You got the little handle. But what's nice is this is an actual string. I wasn't expecting that, to be totally honest, but that's a really nice kind of, again, update to that vintage one. He also does come with his shoulder bits here. Now, in the package, you can see that he had his little fur armor thing on there. These just kind of slide on here. You want to attach them, you can do it either way. It's a little bit easier to do it this way. So you got the little post right here that you just will peg in there like that. And then I just find it a little bit easier to just slide it up and over and then just kind of fit that over the bicep area like that. Come around to this one and do that on this side as well, and then just kind of shift it up there so that it's up on his arms. And here you have the completed look for Beastman. And again, I absolutely love what they're doing. You do have a modern take on them in terms of the head sculpt, but still looks really nice, and then does homage that. What I got a little, what is this? A little green blurb right there. I don't know if that's I don't know exactly what that is. Looks like just maybe some extra paint there that I probably can just pick right off, so I'll worry about that later. But he's got a green tumor there, I guess. You do see some of the reused parts here, mostly in the upper part of the arms, the crotch piece, as well as the thigh section. The rest is all new. Even the hands are new. Obviously, they'll get reused for a whole bunch of other characters, probably like Mossman or something like that. You do have that configuration where you can bend his knees and create kind of like that vintage look, but you can also straighten those legs out, making him a little bit taller, and bend those arms. All that extra new articulation really does make him a very cool and dynamic figure. Size-wise, he fits with all the other ones. Again, just using the classics. This is the only one that I have left. So, boom. There you can see the size. And hey, because he's the master of beast, let's bring in a beast. Granted, Skeletor's beast, but I know I didn't really do this because I didn't have Battle Cat at the time. But in terms of putting these characters on the classic ones, you can, or the Masters of the Universe classics, you can do it they fit on there. They don't, I mean, obviously it's just a kind of harness sort of thing, but no, you can't even see his head. So you could do that if you really wanted to, or if you had the Battle Cat figure, if you wanted to use that with your He-Man or something, you can still get them to stand on there and display pretty decently, I think. So it works overall, I guess. I mean, it's personal preference. But great detail throughout the entire thing. I like how the forearms have that furry sort of pattern. Got that on the body as well. You can see it mostly here with his back. He does have it on the front as well, and you can kind of see it like up and around there. I don't want to, well, I guess I could just take this off and show you, but I don't really want to. You got that little fur pattern going down here on the lower section of the legs as well. I do love the additional armor pieces that you get with them. That's really cool that they included all of that. Again, it just completes the look. For his articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so you get a nice range of motion. Kind of goes side to side, looks left and right. Does get a little bit limited because of the little armor section right there, but overall pretty decent. You got the pin hinge joints for the shoulder, so you can hinge it out. You can also rotate it all the way around. You got a hinge at the elbow. You also have a rotation, so you can move that around. I like that because with the armor going up here around his bicep area, it doesn't limit anything, which is really nice. You have the rotation and then the hinge at the wrist. You also have the waist that you can rotate. The ball joint here for the hips allow in and out, forward and back motion. Come down to the knee. You got the hinge for that, and then it also can rotate. You also have a boot cut right here, which technically it's not a boot because it's just his leg. And then when you do rotate it, kind of breaks up some of that sculpt, but not too terribly bad actually. And then it moves forward and back. Also has ankle tilt. You got some peg holes there in the bottom if you need anything of that nature. Overall, I mean, very good. I mean, he's one of the main henchmen for Skeletor. So clearly you got to have him, and it looks terrific. I think that they've done a remarkable job with all of these figures. I'm trying to, you guys know, I'm trying to set up my thumbnail shot, and I really do think that all of them have done a great job of capturing that look that, yeah, let's get that kind of wrapped around there. Like I said, I'm just blown away and super impressed with how all of these have turned out. I feel like that's kind of, and that's a little bit better. I mean, honestly, I think that what the folks over at Mattel are doing with this is spot on. I mean, I loved the Classics line. Don't get me wrong. Those were beautiful representations of how they looked in the original Filmation cartoon. And I was super happy to get those. These, I just got a little bit more of that nostalgia because of the vintage feel. And I'm sorry, some of it might be blinding me because of how much I like it. But I really do dig what they're doing. Taking that old school look and feel of the figures and updating them, giving them new head sculpts, giving them new articulation, everything on it. I'm just really, really into. So, all that being said, if the new Masters of the Universe Origins line is a line that you would like to get into, initially here in 2020, it will be exclusive to Walmart stores. After that, it will be available everywhere. And the official street date for this release is August 1st, which is right around the corner. So if you're looking for these guys, good luck and happy hunting. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would do one very simple thing for me. And that's just to smash that thumbs up button. That one very small gesture, which takes nanoseconds to do, really does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really very much appreciate it. Also, I want to send a huge shout out to all of my patrons who, through their continued support, now more than ever, help to make reviews like this possible. And if you'd like information on how you can become a patron and help support my channel, feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/optibotimus. And as always, remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.